Welcome to Off the Cut.
Dude, I haven't touched any wood in a long time.
I want to put my face in that grass.
Or you're trying to make eye contact with a person.
And that's an example of it works.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad we got the explicit out of the way early.
That's a good new intro.
New intro, everybody. Listen
that
up.
is funny. That is funny. Well, anyway, welcome to Off the Cut episode 137 for 137 of these. Dear God.
It's too many.
Just keep not enough.
How have we not been canceled yet? Anyway, welcome to episode 137 for Tuesday, October 29th, 2024. Now,
I'll
Zach,
tell you how we haven't been canceled.
Okay, I'll let you take this one. I had one. I'll let you take. I'll save it for next week.
Sorry. I didn't mean to step on your intro. I was just going to say we haven't been canceled because kmtools.com keeps the lights on around here with their sponsorship. And you know what they have coming real soon? Inside Lane. We don't know any details.
Oh, a little bird told me there's going to be a huge sale coming up. But
that's right.
We're not at liberty to share those details yet. So stay tuned.
Rhymes with clack my day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sounds lovely. I would love to. But
clack my day.
So I feel like this is awkward now. I feel like if we're like, hey, go to camtools.com and buy tools, I feel like that's misleading.
No, they got other sales going on right now too.
Yeah, that's true. Urban Blades on sale, right?
Yeah, they just got that restocked.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, you make a good point. So go to camtools.com and pick up some stuff because not everything's going to be on sale for Black Friday.
Yes. There are things that are on sale now that won't be on sale then, and there are things that are full price now that'll be on sale then. You never really know. Here's the thing about buying anything online. Unless you're like a day away from the sale, just buy it when you need it, because then you're forever chasing that high.
The mental anguish.
Yeah. Exactly. And then just buy it. Don't look at the price of it ever again after you buy it, and just live your life.
Yeah. Well, because if it's in Jonathan's store, it can be in your shop.
That's right. That is the motto. That is displayed proudly on the top of the page when you load it.
Yeah. Well, because if it's in the store, it's in their shop. But if it's in their store, it can also be in your shop. If you go to camtools.com and buy tools. And the other exciting thing is not only will these tools actually show up at your house so they can be in the shop, a portion of all the proceeds go directly towards the Katz Moses Woodworkers. Oh my God. Go towards the Katz Moses Woodworkers with Disabilities Fund.
There you go.
It's the tools and resources in the hands of folks who need it most.
Yes.
And if there's something that you need, maybe you want $50 off your next purchase of Cam Tools. Maybe.
That's pretty nice. Honestly,
$50.
Great. You know what else you get with that potential $50 gift card?
Oh, yeah.
You get access to our after show because Jonathan gives us a $50 gift card every single month to give away to one of our patrons. So not only do you get access to the after show, the Discord, all that fun stuff, the ability to send us questions, but you also get entered in a monthly drawing for $50. Who knows what that could buy you on Black Friday or on a regular day?
19 bourbon blades.
Yeah.
Probably
I don't
not
know about that, but we'll see.
I can't imagine their margin is that high that they could sell them for $2 and 15 cents a piece or 10 cents a piece.
Yeah, I think they cost a little bit more than that too.
Yeah. But anyway, if you go over to patreon.com/offthecutpodcast, you can sign up. Any tier level automatically entered to win that $50 Cam Tools card. And like Zach alluded to, tons of other perks like the after show. These after shows have been getting long too.
Yeah, last week was at least an hour, right? Maybe 45.
I feel like it was like a short after show, and it was like 45 minutes.
Yeah. So there you go. Short after show now has become 45 minutes. Normal length, an hour 10, something like that. Yeah. It's crazy. It's a whole other show.
And when we first started it, we are like, our after show will be like 20 minutes or so.
Bing bang, you're in, you're out.
Yeah, that
didn't happen.
No, we can't do that to the people. Which, speaking of people, are returning top tier patrons. Let's get this out of the way early. That way we can just keep rolling. Our dogs. Dog pound. We've got Joe Welsh at Delaware Valley Workshop. Still, Joe, we'll give you a happy belated birthday because it's in the notes.
Heck yeah.
It's deleted for next week, though, so we're not going to give you months of happy belated birthdays. We've got Goblin Spanker, Corey Duvall, Josh at Sawdust Builds, and this just in a couple hours ago, got a notification that Dadu did figure out his card, and he was able to sign up again as a top patron.
Yeah, I saw
wanted to go fix that.
I saw a chat earlier saying, Eric, this week, don't you dare to smirch? Is that the word? Smirch?
I like it.
A good name. I am now a full tier patron, and can confirm.
That's very adult to be able to figure out your banking stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's adulting.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I was adulting earlier this week and sorted out all my banking stuff. I hate when people say adulting. Come on.
Do you think Dadu pays his car insurance? Probably hasn't gotten there yet.
That's next week.
Well, anyway, we've got a new dog in the house. We've got a new patron this year. Tim Bulger.
Oh, nice.
I know what you're thinking. Bulger.
Rhymes with vulgar.
I hardly know her. Oh, that was a bad one. Well, Tim actually paid for the entire year, so Tim is all in. He's like,
God damn.
Yeah, maybe he got a sample of the after show, and now he wants the whole thing. So, Tim, huge shout out. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully we don't disappoint like the Green Suiters podcast.
Never.
Podcast is trash. Well, Zach, the top thing on my notes I have, did you get a chance to screw around with that dissolvable PVA filament from 3D printer?
No, I did not, unfortunately. I had, I'm working on some other things. I haven't had a chance to test it out yet. I'm sorry.
Okay, what's in on the
another
notes?
Week.
Yeah. Leave it hanging.
The people are driving in their cars, bashing their.
I know. There's literally dozens of cars swerving off the road right now, straight into trees.
This is ridiculous. I'm canceling my membership.
No. They're putting themselves out of their misery. They can't wait one more week to know what happened with the PVA filament.
That's it.
If they break it, we can 3D print. We can show them how to 3D print a new one.
Yeah, true.
Or the part.
True. Yeah. No, I was working on something much more important today. I duct taped a knife to a pole, and then I intentionally made a lithium-ion battery explode for a video that I'm working on.
Nice.
Oh, did you capture it in slow-mo?
I didn't capture it in slow-mo. I didn't think to do that. Oh, damn. Now I got to do another one, maybe. But I did capture it from 2 different camera angles, so I got coverage on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it violent?
It was surprisingly
violent.
So first 3 knife stabs, and for the people who are just listening, I'm pretending like I'm spearing a fish right now. First 3 knife
that's
stabs.
not what I thought you were doing.
Heyo.
First 3 knife stabs, no big explosion. I'm like, oh, what the hell? Like maybe the battery isn't fully charged, because it was one that had been sitting on my shelf for a little while. So I was like, okay, let me roll it over. Rolled it over a second time. Stab, I got like a little plume of smoke. I'm like, okay, there's something here. 5th stab, hard, deep, and then just immediate ball of smoke. Smoked for a good 5 to 6 seconds, but huge plumes of it. Honestly, I'm trying to think of an analogous, almost like a smoke grenade. Like it was pretty huge. The inside of the battery got bright red hot. It doesn't actually explode, right? Like that's a little bit of a misnomer, but the inside of it turned molten. So it got so hot that it was glowing red, and just tons of smoke thrown off in the air. And then,
wow.
Then in 5 to 6 seconds, it was all over. My neighbors were probably like, what the hell? Is there a fire starting next door? Because of all the smoke coming up.
So it was bad. It was like smoke bomb.
Yeah.
It was really moving, huh?
Oh yeah. You'll see in not my next video, but the one after. Because I have a line, something along the lines like you want to be careful with lithium-ion batteries, because if you puncture the exterior housing of them, they fail catastrophically. And then it's going to cut to me jabbing the battery with a knife on a pole.
Is it just going to be like a little comic relief in the video? It's be like, let's see what actually happens. And like you like laughing and smiling.
A little comic relief, but also more like educational. Because like the point is, like I was putting a battery in something, and I was like, look, I have to, I was like filing down sharp edges inside of this, this case that I was putting it in. Because I was like, look, if you toss this thing in your backpack and one of these hard edges punctures it, this can happen. So it is a little silly. Obviously, I didn't need to do that. I could have just said it, but
it was fun.
Visual reference is always it's always much better.
So is that the issue? Like, I say back in the day, it was probably like 5-10 years ago when those hoverboards were like a big thing.
Totally. Yeah. So I think what happens with those is a lot of batteries expand a little bit, and especially over time, multiple charging cycles, if they're not charged delicately, they start to swell up because there's like a gas that builds up inside them. And if the enclosure that they're in has sharp edges, it'll push up as the battery expands. It'll push against those sharp edges and it'll puncture itself. So I think that's what happens in a lot of those cases. They're cheaply manufactured injection molded plastic, right? So nobody's there filing off the burrs in the factory. Yeah. They're just trying to slap these things out the door as quick as they can.
Throwing screws in them fast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true. Yeah.
But did any fire emit from it? Or was it because it was an open environment, didn't have like paper and other flammable stuff around it?
No,
there might have been like a very brief gas, like instant of some hot gas rushing out. I'll have to review the footage, but I wouldn't say like fire.
Okay.
But also keep in mind, this was a very small battery. It was like approximately the size of this.
Okay, it's like a camera battery.
Exactly. It was like camera battery size. Okay, so you can imagine like it's probably like a third of the size of a cell phone battery and maybe a tenth the size of a laptop battery. So
okay.
Yeah.
And those hoverboards would have been way bigger. The battery would have been way bigger in a hoverboard.
Bigger than that, yeah. Even bigger than a laptop battery. You're talking about like, maybe not quite a car battery, but you get my point.
But those explosion, even that little battery, that explosion, if you got that like in your pocket or with any other flammable substance, it's going to go up. And
if that was in your pocket, it would suck. Your pants would be on fire for sure. just like you told a fib to your mom.
Yeah. But yeah, so like if you had it, like let's say this is the first thing that came to mind. This is a horrible example. It's on a bookshelf, like in a library. Like it would put those books on fire in no time.
I wonder, because it was so short. I think if it were on top of a book, then yes, probably. But if it was like adjacent to a book, maybe not.
Okay. But if it was on like dry grass or like some leaves, like that.
Yeah, there were some leaves nearby or something flammable. I had it on like pavers, and the pavers were all wet, so it was pretty quick to put itself out.
And does this now make you second guess every lithium ion battery in your life?
A little bit, honestly. I was like, I expected there to be some reaction when I punctured it. I didn't expect to get nearly as much as I did. That being said, I did have to stab it 5 times before it failed critically. So there is probably some, extra padding in those pouches for exactly that reason.
It makes me wonder, would you potentially, and I don't even know if this would work on your channel, but just hear me out. Hypothetically, this works perfectly. You do like a torture testing of lithium ion batteries. You drop them, run them over, microwave them, stab them.
That would be
burn
fun.
Them, freeze them, but you have to do like the same test with like 5 different batteries. So like, is the premium Samsung one or whatever
interesting
significantly more durable than the AliExpress one?
Yeah. I don't know how, I don't know. I don't think that would play on the main channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because,
I do agree with you. I think that would be fun, but I don't think, I don't know. I'm not sure that it would work on the main channel.
Yeah, I think like the closest you could come is if you were talking about repairing your phone and replacing the battery and maybe going off brand with your replacement. But but it could be a good like subset to a video, perhaps.
True.
Like a 5-minute intermission. Like, I'm making this up. You're building some tech thing and then you're like, I gotta get batteries. But it reminds me of this video I did a couple months ago where I stabbed the battery and it blew up, and I got to thinking maybe I should put a little more stock into researching batteries. So before I put a battery in here, let's do some torture testing to see like what's the limit. Like,
run your ad read over it.
Yeah. Ooh, run the ad read over it. That's a good idea. That I like.
Yeah.
Here, let me see. Can I share? I don't want to share my entire screen with you guys. I have the video queued up here. I want to show you guys.
We'll see if it'll work. If you press play, excuse me.
You can share just the window.
How do you share just a window? What? Am I stupid?
Whenever you go present, share screen, and then you go over the middle tab says window, and then you can pick one of the windows.
There we go. Okay.
No. For everybody at home who doesn't know, Deric is way more competent with all this stuff than we are.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so can you see this? I got it all queued up. So there's my.
Will the sound come through?
I don't know. You tell me.
If you didn't select sound, it won't. Yeah.
No.
There you go.
Okay, I see.
See, you get a little smoke there, and then,
wow.
Then it's hold on, give it time. Here it goes.
Oh, dude, that's like a smoke bomb going off. Like,
I know,
that's
right?
a lot of smoke. Oh,
did you have thermal on it? There. You didn't have a thermal camera on it.
No, I didn't have thermal. Damn, I should have run this guy by you guys before I
You should have texted us.
Yeah, no. All right, well, that's about the extent of it.
It's pretty neat, though. It's interesting how completely different Adobe Premiere, and like I'm familiar with Premiere, it's so different than Final Cut. Like just like the whole view of everything, like toolbars and everything.
Usually, when you pull yours up, I'm like, I think I could probably figure out Final Cut if I absolutely had to.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I've considered going over to Adobe, but I'm just so fast at Final Cut.
Yes. I don't think there's any. Adobe is a cruel mistress, and if I didn't already know how to use it, I would. Mm-hmm. If I wasn't so deeply invested in it, I would probably switch to something else,
like DaVinci.
DaVinci, if you're not on one of those three, if you're already on one of those three, you're good.
Yeah.
It's a Final Cut and I'm not trying to derail this for editing talk, but Final Cut is just like. It's the absolute slowest to adopt anything. Like, dude, they won't put AI stuff into Final Cut for 15 years, probably.
Yeah, that is the nice thing about Adobe. They're pretty cutting edge. Like, they were the first to have any AI.
Yeah.
It'll automatically caption your entire video for you. It'll reframe. They just added this new feature that I haven't tried yet, where they will extend a video clip for you. So like if you have a video clip that's 6 seconds long, but you need to be 7, it will extend it out with like new frames.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
It's pretty slick. I haven't tried it either, but it looks cool.
Yeah, it does look very cool. But I also wonder if it's like, is it just hot garbage? Like, is this because it says it won't do it for very long. I don't know what the rule is. Maybe it's like 10% extra or something like that. So I wonder if it gets like really wonky really quickly.
And if your footage isn't steady, like how much artifacting are you going to have?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so much of it. So much.
I've got to imagine though, let's say you have a 5-minute clip. And I bet it works well for time lapse stuff. Like, so let's say you have a super, super long clip and you're like, oh, I need like 9 more frames.
Yeah.
I bet you'd be pretty good. Or you'd be hard pressed to notice a difference.
Probably. What I really want is, and I think it'd be like too computationally heavy to do anytime soon, but I would really like to do generative expanding. So like create like more frames top and bottom. Yeah, like zoom out a little bit because like, I've seen people do it with still frames. Like basically, say you're like sitting at a table. So the part, and you're like just like a simple talking head video. You're sitting at a table, you're talking to the camera. People will they will use Photoshop to generatively expand the background around them, and then they'll just like lay that as like almost like a painting on top of the image and cut out the area where they are, if that makes any sense.
As long as you don't go out of frame, it's good.
Yes, exactly.
I've seen those videos on like Instagram where it's like, if this movie was shot in vertical, here's how it would look. And yeah, they're always using where the camera isn't moving. So as long as the camera's steady, you can do it.
And for us, like YouTubers, the camera's almost always steady, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't have somebody who's shooting for me.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be really handy for expanding vertically to turn your turn your content into vertical content, your horizontal content into vertical content.
Even just like 5 or 10% sometimes. That's all I need.
I know, right? Yeah, totally.
Got like the thinnest black bar.
Yeah.
Or if you don't tighten your tripod in all the way and you're filming something and just slowly starts leaning down.
Yeah.
That's the most annoying thing in the world.
I want better color correction across the bar. Like I just want to be able to drop my footage in and it does all the coloring for me out the box.
Yeah. You know what you can do? My friend
just
taught me
not adjust color.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. No, my friend taught me this trick. He's you get they have these like gray squares that are like perfect gray or whatever it is. And as long as it doesn't work if your camera's in auto white balance mode, because it'll change as the scene changes. But if it's locked off, then you can just hold up that card and then you can use, because most video editing tools do have an automatic white balance tool.
Oh yeah.
So you click on that card, you white balance off that card at the start of the clip, and then that's all you need. Yeah.
That's a lot of effort.
Yeah, you got to do it on each clip.
You got to do it on every single clip, or
block it. Yeah,
within reason. Yeah, like if you record a bunch of clips in the same space with the same lighting, you could probably just do it once. But anytime you move and change anything, you need to do it again.
I have an interesting test, but I don't think I would ever do it. It's more of a mental curiosity.
Okay.
Do one of those like you've seen these videos on like YouTube for like it's like a Fiverr integration thing where it's like I paid somebody $5, $50, $500, and $5,000 to like edit a photo or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I would be interested to see if I pay somebody $550, $500, $5,000 to color correct, and that's it for a video.
Oh, you should have done that for your Fiverr integration. You should have been like, you might have noticed that the colors are looking way better in this video. That's because I hired a professional colorist to do this video. Next one.
But still, so it could be a blessing and a curse. It could actually be really interesting to find out that the color doesn't make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Or that paying somebody a minimal rate would actually get it pretty good. Or you found out, holy hell, if only I would color correct, my videos would be 1,000 times better, right? Like that would be crazy.
I think intuitively you know the answer to that question.
It probably wouldn't make that big of a difference.
Yeah. I think it would probably look nicer. Like you probably look at it and be like, oh, it's like I this is a more polished product. But in terms of like actual views and stuff like that, I don't think that's really gonna make any difference.
And at some point, if your stuff's too polished, is that negative?
Yeah, I think some mediums maybe. Like I often wonder that about like Instagram and stuff like that, and TikTok for sure.
I know, because like all the stuff that I see is like somebody just has like one camera angle is shaky as all hell, and they're just like videotaping random stuff, and they throw some random caption over it.
Yeah.
And then an ad pops up and it's crispy and clean and the color looks perfect.
And it just looks like an ad. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you come across as like too addy or professional if it looks a little too nice.
Yeah. I don't know. Huh. Yeah. Hey, I got a new tool that I got my hands on.
Ooh.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save this for the after show.
Oh, what a tease.
Because it's not out yet. It's not out.
Oh, okay.
It's out on the 31st.
Okay.
October 31st. So people listening live, you gotta wait for the after show. No.
That's it.
I saw that
they... goddamn Bourbon Blade.
I know. This is what I was about to say. I saw Jonathan posted a story the other day that they're shipping out batch 2. So
okay,
maybe
I saw somebody post on Reddit today saying that they got their Bourbon Blade in the mail. So, but maybe they've had it. I don't know. Who knows?
You know what I thought about if I get the Bourbon Blade is make it like a bar tool. Like I'll like have it like you open up a bottle of bourbon. Somebody's like, "What's that?" And I'd be like, "Oh, it's the Bourbon Blade."
The Bourbon Blade, yeah.
It's the only thing you can open up bourbon with.
That's the only thing they missed on there is an integrated bottle opener.
Oh,
I guess it is a bottle opener if you try hard enough or not.
Yeah.
I mean, you're definitely not going to use the chisel for woodworking. That's sacrilegious.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go.
No, you go.
I was going to say I'm very happy that I have the top comments on your latest video, Eric. Did you see?
No. What's it say?
Well, tell the people at home the premise of your latest video.
Okay. So I finally put out my wood and epoxy chessboard, and kind of the overall message in that one was, like a couple years ago, I put out this chessboard video, didn't really think anything of it, but boy, did I really anger people. And I talked about all the things in it that made people mad. It was that I trashed the Roman OG bit. Yeah. And that I said it was, what I charged the client for it. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of how I started the video out. I was like, this might be my most controversial video, all this and this and that. And then during the video, I was kind of like talking about, pricing, how I came up with the price, like why I'm making it as it is and all this kind of stuff. But so tell me about your comment. Was it, what did you say?
I remember when the original video came out, or maybe it was when you posted it on Instagram and one of the clips for it went viral. There was somebody who was insulting you and the client for paying so much for the chessboard. So my comment was something like, "I'm the person who paid him $2,500 to make this
really?
board, and you can send all your hate comments to me directly."
Did you get any good comments?
No, nothing too clever, but a decent amount of responses. But nothing that made me laugh out loud or anything like that.
That's too bad. But see, now people aren't going to believe. They're going to be like, "Oh, this is just his buddy." Actually, I have to venture 99% of the folks watching have no idea that you and I are friends.
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate. Even though there is a plug for Off the Cut in this video,
yeah,
I still don't know how many people even really make that connection.
It is.
Some people were actually very supportive. One guy said, "Good taste, sir." This other guy said, "This is a very nice board." One guy said, "You couldn't build this yourself, and you call yourself a YouTuber."
That's pretty good.
Yeah, more supportive comments than negative ones, actually.
So it was interesting. That video, when I posted it on Saturday, was a 10 out of 10, which means it's the worst video you put out in the last 10 videos. And I was like, oh god.
Ooh, that's where you put your finger in your collar and you go, ooh.
So then I changed up the title, changed some thumbnails, and then bumped it up to like a 3 out of 10.
Oh,
and
there
now
you go.
it's
Nice.
Now it's at like a 5. And I'm like,
okay,
that's all right.
Middle of the pack. Middle of the
pack.
I noticed in this video, actually, maybe it wasn't so much this video. Maybe it was the video that came out before this one. It was a little. There was some interesting tangents in there about your own personal life. It was almost a little lifestyle-y, if you will. Like you talked about like Taylor Swift and going to her concert.
Oh yeah, I think that was my last one.
Was it the one? Oh, it was the one before this one. Yeah, because this one's a little tighter. This one's 21 minutes. I think the one before this was like 40 or something. Right?
Yeah. I went on some random tangents. How did you feel about the tangents? I tried to like dip a little bit in, come back, dip a little bit in, come back.
I mean, I didn't I already knew you were a Taylor Swift fan, so that element of it wasn't super interesting to me. But it was an interesting strategy, and I would like to see how you think it. Like, how does the retention graph look? Have you looked?
It was fine.
It was fine. Okay, so people kind of stayed with it. No, there's no like attrition or anything across the video.
No.
Okay.
I'm under the impression. Dude, I'm honestly under the impression that people don't even care what you say during a video.
You think like once they're bought in like the first little bit?
You could talk about your favorite kind of cheese during a video, and I feel like people would still watch it.
Interesting. I'm so like hyper focused on whatever the subject of the video is. I try not to have like any deviations whatsoever. So that's why I was curious to see like you going the opposite way. It kind of like goes against my own personal philosophy, but you always got to be.
I was just trying it. Yeah, just experimenting. Totally. And to be honest with you, it was kind of the point where I was like writing the script and I'm like, I don't even know what to say here that like, I'm not going to be like, well, I went back to the bandsaw and did the same thing I did 9 other times during this video.
So did you have too many clips and not enough to say, kind of?
Yeah, it was kind of one of those things where it's like I needed to show the fact that like I went back and like it did some additional steps and whatnot, but like I don't need to say the same thing again.
Yeah, interesting.
I thought it was important to show, but I didn't need to restate it, reiterate it.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of handling it. If it were me, I might even honestly just skip that part.
Like I went to the bandsaw, cut it out, and now we're back here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, speaking of bandsaw, finally plugged in my new bandsaw.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't cut anything, but I turned it on. Oh, baby. That thing's got some guts to her.
How many horsepower?
I don't know.
Okay.
He just owns it. He doesn't pay attention.
I don't know. I didn't know anything. Let's see. It's 3 horsepower.
Okay, that sounds like a lot. I don't
she's
know
ripping.
What a good amount is for a bandsaw.
Yeah, I mean,
how much?
I mean, a table saw at 3 horsepower is pretty good. So
yeah. Totally. You got
screaming.
You got a bigger flywheel on a bandsaw, but still.
Yeah, she's a big one. And then the other thing I plugged in, finally turned on my dust collector. Holy hell. This thing, like, no exaggeration, has to be 5 to 10 times more powerful than the one I had before.
Okay.
Like, it will suck a pile of dust off my hand from 6 to 12 inches away.
Your old one was just a shock vac, was it not? Or did you have a dust collector as well?
My old one. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's called Shop Fox.
Oh, it's one of those like looks like it's like a drum. It looks like a snail or whatever on its side.
Ooh.
No.
Okay, one with like the clear bag. Oh, I see what you mean, Deric.
Maybe it's not a Shop Fox. It's
hold on. This guy has so many free tools he doesn't even know.
Doesn't
even know what he owns.
Oh, it's called Buck Tool.
Oh, right.
It's called. I'll throw it in the live chat too.
Tools. It looks the same, I think, doesn't it?
Oh, I didn't put the affiliate link in there.
Oopsies.
And it's too long. Okay. So it's called the Buck Tool dust collector. It's absolutely awful.
And that's 1.2 horsepower.
Yeah, right.
That's a pretty common form factor for like a beginner dust collector.
Yeah,
I would say so. You see these in a lot of people's shops.
Yeah.
It's awful. It's one of those things where when the filter is brand new and has nothing caked on the inside of it, it's not bad. But as soon as any dust is in there, it's like an old person with emphysema sucking through a straw.
Is there a filter in the bag, or is the bag the filter?
The bag is the filter.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And it's one of those, I've seen a lot of videos when I first started woodworking and like watching YouTube and stuff about how a lot of people are like, yeah, those dust collectors that just use a bag, they actually do more harm because
really? Because it's just letting out all the fine
it's just
particulate?
shooting all the fine dust all over the place.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
I believe it, but
that makes sense.
Man.
Man.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, speaking of dust collection, today I was in the shop and I vacuumed everything top to bottom. I did a whole deep clean of the shop today. It was very therapeutic.
Ooh.
Listen to a nice audiobook.
Exactly that. Exactly that. I put an audiobook. I started at 1. I started at the CNC. I vacuumed. I had a leaf blower for a little bit, just blowing dust out.
Oh, man,
I threw a bunch of stuff out. I put stuff away in drawers. It was really nice.
I'm slowly working on that.
Yeah.
Finished all the painting this weekend.
Yeah.
In the shop. Installed the mini split. So I now have heat and air conditioning, and I'm finally kind of rearranging tools, kind of sort of somewhat setting things up. Put up my lumber rack today above the garage door.
Nice.
It's coming together.
It's
coming together, but oh my God, this is exhausting.
I
never want to move.
How far away from operation do you think you are?
If I had to start building something,
you could.
I could.
There's camera ready.
Oh no, there's still stuff all over the floor right now. My biggest issue right now is the clamps are all over the floor.
Okay.
Because I want to put them on the clamp rack, but I don't know where I want the clamp rack to go. So I don't want to mount it on the wall and put fresh holes in the drywall that I just spent so much time doing.
But look, now you're an expert plasterer, so you can fix any holes you make, no problem.
Yeah.
Are you documenting this process for any platforms anywhere?
Yeah. There's going to be a YouTube video on it.
Oh, okay.
And
Mr. Cool?
Yeah, Mr. Cool's sponsoring it.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I got to say, installing that Mr. Cool truly was easy.
Just a couple holes and Bob's your uncle?
Honestly, the most difficult thing, and it's probably me going overboard, was so it's obviously mounted high up on the ceiling. You drill a hole through the wall, through the siding, right? And then you have that like line set cover, that like vinyl, like kind of tube that kind of like comes down the wall. So it looks nice and clean. So you just don't have like, wires and pipe and stuff hanging out.
Yeah.
Is getting that attached to the siding, because the siding, has the ridges, right?
Oh, yeah. If you want to be a true psychopath, you could like cut a channel in the siding and then like seal the whole way down.
No. But
or you could 3D print little filler pieces that go between the siding and, just like print dozens of them.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was the most time-consuming thing. It's just getting that to look nice and clean. And then because I'm psychotic, I'm like, any screw that I'm putting in, I'm putting a big old heap of silicone behind it before I screw in, because I don't think water's going to come through. But dude, you never know.
You gotta. They make screws that have little
gasket.
Yeah,
little gasket exactly that clamps down as you tighten the screw.
I've seen that.
You don't want to mess around with silicone.
And then I was looking on YouTube just for other videos people install and stuff. It shocked me by the amount of people that would literally just sink a screw in or like drill a hole into their siding and just put like the plastic flashing and not put any silicone and stuff around it. I'm like, really?
Okay. Yes, I'm with you, because I'm the same way. Like, I am Mr. Seal it up, make it completely watertight. Yeah. But then the flip side is I see everybody doing stuff like that. Like, if I look at the outside of my own house, which I didn't build, there's holes everywhere. There's like, there's like all these like horrible like issues with the siding. It's like still watertight. Never noticed any leaks inside. So
like somebody had an outdoor light and then they took it off and they didn't bother to put silicone back there.
Exactly. And there's just like 4 holes in the siding. You're like, all right, well.
That's why they put up all those different layers on the walls whenever they're building it out, so that if any water does get through one of those screw holes, it's going to weep down before it actually reaches even your insulation.
In new construction, you are 100% right. In old houses, a lot of the time it's just, it's just plastic siding directly on top of OSB.
Yeah, they didn't even put it like a Tyvek wrap or whatever.
Yeah, like Tyvek wrap is like the most basic form of it, but there's like you have to do like 3 layers. You got to do Tyvek, insulation, rain screen, and then your siding. And an air gap as well, usually.
Yeah.
Huh. I think it'd be so interesting to build, like, it's not feasible for me to build my house from the ground up. I mean, it would take years to do something like that.
Doing it all yourself by hand, or having other people do certain things?
No, hypothetically, me building the entire thing.
Doing it, yeah. I think I could do it if I kept it relatively simple. You know what I mean? Like, if it was just a square box. Because as soon as you get into, like, doing...
Like a hunting cabin.
I don't know. Yeah. Like, you could, like, whack up a hunting cabin in, like, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks or something like that. Yeah. But like to try and do a whole house with, if you have like a peak roof, that's like, okay, well, that's a lot more work all of a sudden for the peak roof. It's like, oh, you have a couple dormers for some windows. Okay, that's a lot more work. It all adds up real quickly. But if you just made a square box, you could probably do it pretty quick.
Let's say the house that you and Sophie are renting right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you
just burn to the ground, dude, I'm way ahead of you. I got the kerosene, I got the matches ready to go.
If you and you alone had to build that from the ground up, I mean, pouring the foundation, running the plumbing, running the electrical, drywall, insulation, roofing, everything like that, realistically, uninterrupted, how fast do you think you could build that house?
4 years.
And Sophie's helping me?
No, just you.
Oh,
zero help. Other than if someone has to like lift like a ceiling joist or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, at least a year.
Okay.
Now, what's your budget? And do you have to worry about money?
No, it's unlimited budget.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It's strictly a matter of time.
Yeah. Cranes, things like that would make a huge difference. Even just a forklift.
Some degree, but I'm just thinking like, you throw up walls. You still got to nail together all the walls and stuff like that. And
you just order prefab walls.
How to code does it have to be done?
Yeah, true. Well, yeah, am I rebuilding the existing house? Because the existing house is not to code at all. A lot of corners cut here.
So that whole code thing is interesting to me, right? It's like, well, this isn't up to code. Who the hell's ever gonna know?
Yeah, so there's various ways you can get popped. The biggest one is just, working on your house and the neighbor calls the city and says, hey, somebody's doing some upgrades to their house. They need to come do it. The other one where you get popped often is when they do appraisals for property tax and stuff like that. If you put an addition on your house and they say, hey, the plans for this house don't show it like this room here. What the heck? Where'd that come from?
Or converting something like a garage to a room or something like that.
Exactly. That'll come up. They have like the historical plans and they may compare the historical plans. But then you can always just be like, well, it was like the previous owner. They did it 10, 20 years ago or something like that. I bought it this way.
Also, I bought it this way. Does that usually get you out of a jam?
Well, to some degree it does, because like we have what's referred to as existing non-conforming, which are the sweetest words in the English language when you're a contractor.
Right.
Which just means it was already there, and thus you're under no obligation to redo it. Yeah.
I mean, some things you do want to be up to code, like if it's like aluminum wiring, like
yeah. There are tons of things where it makes sense to follow code. Yeah, I'd argue in most situations it does. It's kind of the weird edge cases where it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I feel that.
But sometimes the cost is not worth it.
Yeah, like whenever I had the hot tub installed, one of the things they wanted was on the gate. They wanted a lock to be used, which is cheap. That's fine. And a spring to be installed on the gate so that it would close itself, which is like, okay, it's like $10 worth of hardware. I can put it on there, but like, really? But yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you check it out and tell me I'm good, I'm going to remove it.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. That's so many things we would do for clients when we're building homes. It's like, okay, legally we have to build it this way. Once the house clears inspection, just unscrew this, remove it, and you're good to go.
Oh, you would tell clients that?
Yeah, I mean, it's somebody's house. Like, if they're like, I don't want this stupid, like, because sometimes the code will be like, you have to have 6 inches of railing here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, why? And just because, like, their thing is, every 10 feet needs 6 inches, whatever it is. But it'll just look ugly. It won't look purposeful. And so we'll say to the client, look, we will install this for the sake of passing inspection. Here's how you undo it. Whatever you do after we're gone, like that's between you and your God.
We can't take it down, but if you ever wanted to replace it, here's how you could do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm absolutely removing I have this horrible looking handrail going into the garage, like from the inside going into the garage. It's 2 steps and it's like a 2x12 handrail that looked like somebody just nailed it to the wall, and it's got to have at least a 3-inch gap. Like, that's how bad the miter was cut on it. It's just slapped on there. Like, that's 100% getting removed.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And it's like, you and Miranda in your 30s, no kids, like nobody lives in your house who goes down those stairs with a walker every day. So it's like, get rid of the railing. Like,
right.
I don't know. You know the risks. Like, I guess maybe theoretically you might be bringing up the groceries and slip one day and wish you really had that railing there. But that's you're an adult. You can make those decisions.
The only way
Yeah.
And the only time it's going to come back on you is whenever you go to resell it decades from now. And they're like, hey, we need to have this thing on here per code or whatever. If they even do that, they may not even.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, when you bought the house, Eric, was there? I don't know. Like, every municipality is different, but did they have to have your bank make you have
get an appraisal?
Yeah, you get an appraisal, but did you get a home inspection too?
Yeah,
I'm sure they
it's
gave
optional.
You like a couple things, right?
Yeah, but
it's all optional, right?
It was optional, right?
Yeah,
like there was like, hey, like, you got to replace these stairs going to the patio, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
because
usually it gives you a little leverage in the negotiation sometimes.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the reality is 90% of homes that are standing right now do not conform with whatever the building code is.
Right.
Because the building code is updated every single year, right? So that it's almost, you can't expect every home when it's sold to be updated to the standard of the modern code, because it's just not feasible. It'd be too expensive. I know, right? It's insane.
One thing that drives me absolutely nuts, and it's because we went through and changed every single outlet, every single light switch in the house, because for some reason, whenever people replace them, they never replace them with the same color or the same size or same style, and it's infuriating.
Yeah, I don't, a house with like a million different ones.
And I don't want light almond. Who the hell is buying light almond outlets?
I'll tell you who. It's the exact same people who bought the flesh-colored computers in the 90s.
Oh. Flesh-colored. Lord. But anyway, dude, GFI circuits drive me bonkers.
Yeah, they're a little annoying sometimes.
I get the idea. You like, it gets a little short, boom, it kicks off there. But the way a lot of them are wired would be like, okay, you have a downstairs bathroom that has a GFI outlet, but then it's tied up into another bathroom. So it's so why are they not all GFI outlets?
What can end up happening a lot of the time is that something will be wired in series behind a GFI. So if you have a downstairs bathroom, somebody gets a little splash of water on it, it trips. It'll often kill the power to, the bedroom that's directly above it or something like that.
Right.
Now, theoretically, you shouldn't be wiring your house like that. Like the GFI circuits should be on their own circuit, But again, realistically, 90% of homes do not conform to building codes or electrical codes. So you end up with these weird situations all the time.
But somebody goes to add in something and they just tap into whatever's closest.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's a wire. Just cut into that.
But then it's like, okay, so I get the point of having a GFI, right? But then if you don't have two GFI outlets next to a sink. You have one, and then another one is like loaded off of the previous one.
Yeah.
But you would think that they would both need to be GFI.
I think I would need to check this
through the other one.
I think if the second one comes later down the line, then if it gets wet, it would trip the GFI, which would trip the whole circuit, I think.
Right. Yeah. Wouldn't it be way easier to just have a GFI breaker?
They do have those, I believe. But the problem with those then is that if it trips, then you have to go all the way to wherever your breaker is in order to reset it. Whereas the outlets you can reset at the outlet.
And it's a greater distance for that trip to have to occur over versus like an outlet that's right there with you versus a breaker that's 50 feet of line down the ways at least.
Right.
Yeah. But they do make GFI breakers.
Yeah,
that does exist.
It's just it was so annoying. Yeah, GFI breakers are more, and GFI outlets are more expensive too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. The ones that piss me off the most are the arc fault breakers.
So tell me about that. What are those?
So it's kind of a similar idea, but it's like if it detects like arcing across the across the line. So theoretically, like if you were to hold two wires like close to each other and you could get an arc to jump between them, it's supposed to detect that and then shut off the thing. So I think it's to protect kids from like poking forks and stuff into outlets. I don't really know, and I know that they can get triggered by certain tools and also vacuums. Like I think the way the vacuum's motor works, there's some arcs that happen there. So I don't know. I should do a little bit more research on that, but I just know that they're the standard here in Ontario, Canada now. I think every outlet has to be on an arc fault circuit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think we have that here, but I know we have these new outlets that you can't plug anything into.
The tamper resistant.
Yes. Those drive me nuts.
I hate them so much. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get a sledgehammer to plug in your phone to charge.
Yes. They do get better over time, I found. The
first few
spring
times.
Yeah. The trick I found is that you either have to get both prongs in at the same time. If you go in at a little bit of an angle, sometimes it screws up. Or sometimes you do have to go in an angle.
You got to jimmy it around to finally get it in there, but
yeah, I had an outlet in my old condo that I swear I don't think I ever managed to plug anything into. I tried my hardest to force a plug into that outlet, and I could never get a single one to go.
Bent the prongs.
Yeah, honestly, I did.
It's infuriating. But going to the store and like you're like, okay, I want an outlet. Dude, there's so many damn choices.
I know.
And it's almost just easier to find what you want and then just go home and be like, all right, I need 55 of those. Rather than just assuming that everything at the store is actually in the right spot and you're grabbing all the right thing.
Oh, if you're going to redo your whole house, I would order it home. I do like the in-store pickup. Like make some poor employee at Home Depot go and pick everything for you.
I'm so glad that project is over. So glad. But Zach, you got any, Deric, you guys got any things you're eyeing for Black Friday coming up? Hoping to get something?
Actually, the bamboo they've been pushing lately. I've been seeing that a lot the last couple weeks. I've been interested in that. I might be curious to see if they do something for Black Friday.
They do. Is it not up right now? I think it's up.
Oh yeah, they got one now, but I didn't know if maybe they would do one later different or better?
I will give you the information that I've been given because the video I'm working on right now is sponsored by them, and they want me to promote Black Friday. As far as I know, and all the information that I've been given in my like press brief or whatever is that the sale goes from now to December 3rd.
Yeah,
and that's the sale.
I have the same info. October 21st is the day it started.
Yeah, and it's going to December 3rd, and it's just across the board. That's the sale.
Does anybody's affiliate link get you a little bit more on top of that, or is it just they get money off the top of it then?
I don't. My affiliate doesn't.
My affiliate link gets you lots of high fives and hugs.
I actually gave my affiliate to Joe last night, so I don't know if he ended up.
Damn you, Joe!
So we'll see. Yeah, it's they have a damn good price on the P1S, which is what they sent me. Which I am having used this thing for a while. I am a big fan of this
P1S. Oh yeah, Deric, get the P1S. Great one.
Yeah, it
the X1. You don't need the X1.
Honestly, if the X1 was like $100 more, I'd say just get the X1. $200 more, I'd be like, yeah.
They look the same.
It's like $500 more. Yeah. Difference is plastic shell on the P1S doesn't have a LiDAR system, which, by the way, the LiDAR system is not very good. The camera in it is 720p instead of 1080. And it has a ugly, like, monochromatic display and it's like button input, whereas the X1 Carbon has a nice looking touchscreen.
I assume I'm doing most of it from my computer anyway, so.
Yes, you are. That is a correct assumption. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to justify the cost of the X1 Carbon.
Yeah, especially because you get that nice little feeder thing on top right now.
I know. Yeah. What is it with the AMS system? It's like ridiculously cheap for how much you're getting.
Yeah, I think it's the same.
P1S. Let's see. I just price wise. So it's 700 Canadian. Actually, 949 Canadian with the AMS.
Yeah, PMS.
549.
PMS.
Oh, with the combo, 749 here.
749.
That is not bad.
Yeah. I think I spent double that when I bought my X1s. And I was noticing that the P1S comes with some upgrades that my X1 Carbons didn't come with. I don't know. They might come with them now, but it came with a textured bed, which I think is better because then you don't have to use glue stick nearly as much. And looks like looking closely at it, I can see that some of the internal components have been changed.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And these just work straight out the box. You don't need anything additional to them, except for filament.
It actually even comes with some filament. It comes with 3 rolls of filament when you buy it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, no, it works straight out of the box. You don't need anything.
Huh.
Good to go.
Yeah, Deric, you're going to like it, man. You're going to like it.
I'm excited.
If it were my money, I would not buy the X1. I'd get the P1S all day.
Yeah.
I just got to figure out how to hide it from my wife and kids because they're just going to want to print a bunch of toys and stuff.
Stupid. Yeah.
It's good practice. Let them print some toys.
Yeah. Well, I'm the one that's going to have to do it.
Yeah, true. Fair.
You just press a button and wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got to set it up and, program the slicer or whatever.
Have either of you guys used a laser cutter before?
No, I haven't.
So
I was looking at Sumon's last week or 2 weeks ago.
He's got a big one, doesn't he? He's got
the X-Tool P1 or...
okay. Yeah, that's what I got too. I haven't opened it up yet.
Okay. Did they give it to you?
Yeah, and I'm excited to try it, but it's like I'm going to open this thing up and be like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I need a project that justifies it. Like if I had a good idea for a project where I could use the laser cutter, then I think I would get in touch with them and try and get one.
So I want to use it for like just ripping out like templates real quick.
Oh, that's a good use case. How big is it? What's the bed size?
I don't know. Probably 1.5 by 2.5 feet. It's pretty decent size.
Okay. So definitely enough that you can make like a table leg or a chair leg.
Yeah,
or a seat.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then
you can tile with it too. Like,
yeah. You can do tiling where you like feed in and like do a bigger sheet and all that kind of stuff. I have so little knowledge about it that I'm interested in learning more, but it also seems daunting and it almost makes me not want to take it out of the box. You know,
that's coward talk.
I know. I'm just like, I'll deal with that later. But
learn it. It'll be fun. You gotta dive in. This is the point of being a YouTuber is that you get to. Your job is to learn new things,
try and experiment with things. I mean, to be honest with you, what I'm most excited about right now, because I've not opened it, is like I have all these keys, and I'm like, I don't know what this key is. I can't wait to slap that thing on a laser engraver and be like, this is my sister's house key. And actually know what all these keys are.
There you go.
I mean, that's a very expensive way to just write down what a key is, but
that's all right. Again, that's the beauty of being a YouTuber.
But I mean, I can get like acrylic sheets and like make up some jigs, templates, and stuff, and it's going to be so much faster than using the Shaper Origin to just slowly route things out. I can make like some zero clearance inserts and stuff for table saw, and I got some good ideas. But like the fumes, what the hell do I do with the fumes? Do I just open the garage door? What do I do?
They didn't send you a little filtration system. Some have like a little port that you can like hook a fan up to, and it sucks it out and then runs it through a HEPA filter. And then
I have no idea.
Well, you have to open it up and see. Shop vac.
But doesn't it puts out like smoke, right? If it's like burning wood, it needs.
Yeah, I'm looking on Xtool's website right now to see if they have. Yeah, they have the Safety Pro AP2 air purifier.
I don't have
which is like a modular air purifier that you connect to it.
I don't have that. I mean, I don't think so.
You haven't opened it yet. It's in it comes in the versatility bundle. It's just
I don't know. I don't know. But see, then I'm like, if I get this other accessory, then it's just like, I don't know.
Now you got a whole nother thing.
I know.
Whole nother thing.
I've been bouncing around between the 3D printer, a laser, and a CNC for like a year plus now. I just can't, I don't know which one's going to benefit me more. And it's something that...
Yeah, because they're all very different. They're all very different.
But I think you can get... I've seen some CNCs that you can get where you can swap out and put a laser on it, and it'll do both.
Yeah, I think that's... You can. And I've looked into it. I think my intuition is telling me that you'd be better off with a dedicated laser tool, because Eric hasn't taken it out of the box yet, but you can do things like throw your key in it and the camera will figure out where the key is and then let you do it. If you're using a laser that's strapped onto CNC, it's going to be way more of a rigmarole to do something like that. The software's not going to be designed
recalibrate it every time you swap it out for each
Exactly. Yeah, the laser is going to end up in a different spot than the cutting head would be, and all these other little things. So,
I actually want to dive into this more. I think this would be an interesting topic: pros and cons of 3D printer, laser, CNC.
I would go 3D printer. That's the thing I find the most useful. Then CNC, then laser. But
I don't know.
It depends what you're into.
Yeah. That's true.
Huh. Well, I think we dive into this more in the after show.
All right.
What do you guys think about that?
I like it. It.
Before we go, I just want to say
the Green Series podcast sucks.
That too. But to anybody out there listening, we got Texas Woodworker Festival coming up. I'll be there. These guys won't. But if you want to stop by, you want to say hi to me, I'll be more than happy to say hi and talk to anybody. Just send me a message.
And if you see Jason Bent there, tell him that the Green Series podcast sucks. And then it's available on all streaming platforms. Jason should be there. I think Keith is going too, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be fun. There. Yeah.
I'm excited once next year rolls around. Oh, John's going to be there?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, right. John.
I think Joe might be there too.
Oh. I'm excited once next year rolls around. I'm going to have more vacation. Well, vacation will come back because I didn't spend it all on the honeymoon and wedding. But I'm going to travel around, do some stuff. Go to some like little events like that. I mean, that's a good excuse to go to Texas.
Yeah.
True.
There's not a whole lot of them. I mean, all like really the big ones, you got Maker Camp, you got Texas Woodworking Festivals. Yeah, maybe that's just because I'm here. And Workbench Con. That's all I can. Yeah, other than that, there's not a whole lot of excuses for us all to get together.
I know.
I want to go to Open Sauce next year.
I've heard about that one.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit more electronics oriented from what I understand, but it's still very much like makery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Cheaper too.
We know where we are going to go right now. To the after show.
Oh, I was going to say your mom says. Okay.
She's a nice lady. All right, everybody. We're heading out. We will catch you next week. Or if you're a patron at patreon.com/offthecutpodcast, we are going to go to the after show and we'll see you over there.
See you, everybody.
See ya.